When I started Final Cut X, I tried to find a resource for a long time that would show me start to finish how to load my project and get it out the door. So I thought I'd create this to show you how my workflow happens on almost every video that I work on. I typically work with H.264 files coming out of a DSLR, and so this is typically how I set up my workflow. So this is the card. You just navigate to the actual footage. Once you have it here, you want to create a folder system that is typically what you would use every time, and something that's really consistent. So under app videos, I have my Final Cut X files, which will include my project folder file as well as my backup folder, which I'll show you in a second. And then I'll create a raw footage folder here, and then if I have any audio files as well as any media files that are specific to that job or that project, it will all go in folders underneath this larger folder. So once I have the footage drawn from my cards and onto my hard drive, my external hard drive, a little trick that I learned a little while ago was to change the name of this file right here so that when you put this card back into your camera and do a quick view of images, it will say no images even though there's storage being used, and so that way I know that I've downloaded the footage that is on that card and I can go ahead and format it in the camera. So I'll get rid of this right here and just work with this full file, these files on this drive externally. So once I open Final Cut X, this is what you'll see. You'll go to File, New, Library, and this is what it will create right here. You will name it and also place it on your external hard drive. I typically change this event folder right here to raw footage, and I use just a simple drag and drop system to be able to get the footage where I need it to go. So I'll just navigate back to it. I'm able to drag it straight on there, and now it's loading all my footage. There you go. So first things first is I will go to modify settings right here, just to be able to set up where my backups go. I would hate to use my storage on my hard drive, my computer's hard drive, so I use my external. So I choose, and then I just tell it where to find the file, which is the backup file, and hit OK, and there we go. What I do then is create these new event folders right here, which allows me to store certain things. And so in this one I will say the video, because I'm going to create the actual video, as well as, if you notice, the project right here. So this will be app video draft 1. This file right here, this project right here is what will live in the timeline over here. So once I do that, I might be able to add another event folder, and this one I might say is my media. So anything that I need as far as logos or music, background music, I will drop in this media folder. If I had audio files, I would create an audio folder under this event tab and drop in all my audio clips. And that way it just kind of helps me keep things in place and keep things on track, and I know exactly where everything is, and it's easy for me to find. I can search for all these things one at a time by clicking these files or these folders individually, or I can see all of my files right here by just clicking on the bigger folder right above here. So once I have everything loaded in right here, what I do then is I actually go through all my footage and find the footage that I know I want to use for this upcoming project. And so the best system that I found is to use my favorites. So by simply clicking that, it gets rid of that little sidebar, and now I can look at all this footage and see the footage that I have shot and probably the footage that I hope to use in this video. So I remember doing this shoot, and so simply with the shortcut keys, I use the space bar to roll over the play, hit the I to place an in point, and the O to click on an out point. I hit favorite, and it turns this little yellow box green. So I know this clip or this section within this one clip is what I would like to use. So on this one, I know I'm not going to use this clip because the talent blocked the screen too much. And so what I could do is highlight it and hit delete, and actually gets rid of it because I know I'm not going to use it. So it just helps me clean up my footage really, really well. So this one again, same problem. I can delete that as well. This is the clip, or possibly this clip that I want to use, but I know I want to capture it as she sits down. So I'll hit the I for endpoint and go all the way through until I know I want to stop using this clip. So I'll save this the entire way through, just because I have other reasons for it, or purposes for it. Actually, I'll save it all the way up until she rotates the screen, because that is actually the next clip. So I'll hit F on the keyboard and it saves my favorites. We'll do the same with the I and the O in and out points, and hit F. And the reason why this is really helpful is because if you go up to this top bar right here and you hit edit, the option for favorite shows up, and once you do that, only those clips that you've allowed or you've made your favorites shows up here. So I know that these are definitely shots that I've looked through and clips that I'm definitely going to use. So that's really easy and helpful for me. So what I do next is with these, let's just use these as an example. I'll select this one, hit the U keyboard. On the keyboard is a fast a shortcut, and it places it in the timeline. I'll hit the next clip, place that in the timeline with the same U, and possibly hit the next one and hit U again. So now you see it in the timeline, and now I'll be able to cut and paste or edit on my timeline from here. So that was really some of the harder pieces, or the pieces that I wish I knew or learned early on during my kind of education in Final Cut X, and so hopefully this is helpful and useful to you as well. Now that you have this, say you cut and pasted and moved around and you had a final project, and this was your final project, to export it would be really simple as well. Once you've done all the changes and settings that you've wanted to, if you feel like you needed to change some exposure shots or exposure of certain shots, this is where you would find that tab. This will give you your color. Where here you would change saturation, your color, and your exposure. Click back here. If you had anything you needed to change as far as rotation or position or scale, this is where you would find this. Pretty simple here too. If you needed stabilization, this is a good automatic tool that you can use, and you can play with those as well. The audio button allows you to raise and lower your audio volume. I typically use these audio enhancements to get just a little bit more volume and tweaking on the audio. And then the information key is just some helpful information to know the frame rate, know the size of the image, and some other information like that. So once you have all that set up and ready to go, you've edited your piece, added music, intros and outros, everything, if it looks good, you want to export it, simply hit the share project button right here, and it gives you these options. As you will see, the most common one would be export file. It gives you the option to change certain things. You want to change the audio, so you want to save it to computer, best quality or fast encode. You want to maintain your resolution. You have options here, as well as what will happen once this is done. Once it is done, you hit next. You will tell the program where to save this video, and hit save, and you're all done. It should take just a few moments to be able to export this project for you, and you will have your finished video. So hopefully that was useful and beneficial to you, and good luck.